Hello there. It's so good to know that you could join us for a very fresh edition of your Sunday Tonic, the Sunday Special. As usual, there are many reports that will spice your evening. My name is Oku Ekpeyong, and I'll be your anchor tonight. Now let me let you in on some of the stories you may likely have to watch. It's that season where lovebirds choose to consummate their affairs. Talking of marriages, yes, it's that season. And Calabar celebrated two individuals who decided to settle in as man and wife during the weekend. Well, away from marriages, it's been tales of woes and cries for the people of Nta Calabar in Calabar municipality. And with the rains receding, their hopes are hanging in the balance. Only and if interventions are visible. Well, you will come with me on the show tonight, and let's get to Nta Calabar to see for ourselves what the people are saying in that part of the town. So viewer, it's now that time for that ride. Come with me. It promises to be engaging and enlightening. See you soon. With President Muhammadu Buhari is in Durban, South Africa, ahead of the second intra-African trade fair starting on Monday. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president is on special invitation of the South African leader Cyril Ramaphosa. And back in Cross River State, the Cross River State Governor, Professor Benayade, has charged surveyors to take their rightful place towards sustainable economic development of the nation as they play a major role in the industrialization of Nigeria. The governor gave the charge while addressing members of the Surveyors Council of Nigeria, SOCON. Governor Yadi told the surveyors that they play a critical role in the industrialization of modern society, citing the agro-industrialization in the state, such as the irrigation, which cannot be done without proper survey.
Survey is at the heartbeat of industrialization and development today. As we go to build the airport, without a surveyor, you can never get your line straight. There is no step you take without getting a surveyor. Even today, even in interior decorations, surveyors are now involved. You need to really focus survey into the real factors that will govern the growth. Don't be silent. Don't think your profession has to do with instrument and measurement. It has to do with society. And until you find a nexus that does the connection between your profession and the growth of humanity and increase in value, you would have failed. You would have been a pure scientist. But a real scientist is somebody who relates his scientific work to social growth and social engineering. And that's the challenge I have given to you.
The governor also called on professionals to use their skills and make Nigeria great rather than getting everyone running into politics at the detriment of the economic and infrastructural development. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has intercepted 16.85 kilograms of cocaine and heroin worth over 4.9 billion naira in street value at the Apapa Seaport and Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. 4 persons are currently being investigated for 13.65 kilograms of cocaine seized on board a ship, MV Cateria, that came into the Apapa port from Santos, Brazil on Sunday, 7th November 2021. Also, 5 persons have been arrested in different parts of Lagos and Delta states in connection to the seizure of another 3.200 kilograms of heroin found on a passenger at the e-arrival hall of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Meanwhile, more than 823.19 kilograms of illicit substances, to include cocaine, cannabis, among others, have been intercepted in operations conducted in some states across the country, as well as arrests of 11 suspects in connection to the crime. Talking health matters now, 51 new cases of COVID-19 have been recorded from 4 states as at 13th November 2021. The statistics show that Katsina leads the day's chart with 34 new cases, followed by Lagos with 11 cases, Kano 3, Cross River 2, while Bauchi recorded 1 case. Till date, 213,127 cases of the pandemic have been confirmed in the country, with 205,491 treated and discharged, while 2,960 could not survive the virus. Sunday special continues in a moment. Stay with us and you won't regret any time with us. See you soon. Welcome back. Nta, a suburb in Calabar Municipal Council area of Cross River State, is a serene community enjoying the trappings of community and modernity, due probably to its proximity to the city centre. The community has been in the news lately due to the gully erosion threats to lives and property of residents and alleged halting of interventions to check the spread of the threat. Today, tales of neglect and despair hover around the community for alleged reasons, just as Odealeo reports from the area where he says nature is taking its devastating toll on the residents.
William Etum is a senior citizen whose active years contributed to the country's development. Settling in Calabar, he built his house upon retirement in Nta Calabar, and like other residents today, he is living in fear of a further damage to his property, some of which were lost previously to erosion until interventions from the federal and state government as well as the World Bank came the way of the community.
We're happy when New Map came and intervened, and that in fact that was what encouraged me to start renovation.
Suddenly, there were interruptions, making it impossible for them to continue.
For an area rescue from the clutches of the gully erosions, where most homeowners have been forcefully evicted with hope of others left in the balance, some residents are appealing to an end to this peril, which they attribute to alleged multi-taxations and others.
Financially, I think there's a problem somewhere, but we are only appealing on behalf of the community. They should fund the company for this job to be completed.
People cannot access their houses. All the lateral the company put in place have been eroded.
We thought that we are going to be somehow relieved of these kind of problems. But unfortunately, what we are seeing here, if care is not taken, is going to be the worst.
Interventionist agencies like the World Bank and Nigerian Erosion Watershed Management Project NUMAP came to the rescue, but the project has been stalled, leaving many questions begging for answers. One of it is, where does the road turn to for the residents of Nta Calabar, especially when their emotions can better be imagined?
We are appealing as a company that whatever issues that are hindering the progress of this work, it should be resolved as soon as possible to enable us to come back to site.
So we are hoping that now that the rains have subsided and the issues of taxation has been resolved, they will speed up and then complete the site.
Meanwhile, hopes are likely to rise for the people of the community if the contractors return to site and issues that stall the progress of the work are amicably resolved. Other remedial measures put in place to stem the tide of the erosion are the planting of vetiver grasses by the contracting firm. As the rain recedes in this part of the country, residents of this community may just take a break from the threat of their life and property, hoping to smile soon. In Calabar, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
And this is hoping that something will happen soon at Ikon Kebre, and so that the people will return to their normal lives. Take a look at what has happened, the cries and woes of the people begging for attention. So we hope that the appropriate authorities will take a look at that. Now let's move on to culture. Back in the 1970s and 80s, culture was given a pride of place in schools, curriculum, especially in the primary school. In Cross River State, fondly described as the tourism hub of Nigeria, culture should fully find expression. But is that the case? Erica Evi, in this report, attempts to find the strength of culture in positive societal values.
Nigeria, popularly known as the Giant of Africa, lies in West Africa along the eastern coast of the Gulf of Guinea, with more than 250 ethnic tribes and different cultures. What do you know about your culture, and how has it impacted your social life?
Culture, I know a little bit, no, not much. Culture is the way people live, their dressing, their food, even though their language.
Definitely, culture can really harmonize Nigeria because it brings the peoples together.
Trying to promote it, we want people to, to be involved and engaged in their culture, because without culture, you are not from that particular area.
Culture, from what everybody knows, is the unifying factor.
Culture has been described as a unifying factor while impacting greatly on the society.
Both men and women have their own peculiar culture, all put together. Men are enjoying theirs, women are enjoying theirs. Day-to-day practice, we are enjoying it. But the only problem we have is the preservation of this culture.
Cultures and events like Leboku are in the state tourism calendar. So I want to urge government, don't joke with culture.
Clerics, in their opinion, say cultures do not contradict Western religious beliefs, except there is a digression into fetish cultural practices.
I come from a village, and I know that for everything they do, they believe that peace comes first. So you must be able to realign with those indices of peace so that we can live together as one country.
Only celebration sedang and the eat and the drink. This is my culture and the Muslim.
Culture and religion are two sides of the same coin. It will surprise you that the clothes we wear, the nature of behavior and attitude are linked to culture and mostly to religion.
Respondents are, however, appealing for an improved society where culture is preserved to enhance a peaceful coexistence in national development. In Calabar, Erica Evi, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Erica, for that report. Well, I'm wearing a Nigerian fabric, so it's my culture. So I don't know about you. You choose your culture and stay with your culture, because culture is the only thing you can sell anywhere you go to around the globe. Now, talking about love. Love and infatuation are both intense emotions that one feels for another person. These feelings are most often confused for each other by many. However, the two feelings differ in their actuality of purpose, intensity, and final outcome. How then can one tell if he or she is in love or infatuated? Chidiebere Onya attempts to unravel this puzzle. So let's take it with Chidiebere. Take a look.
Love, with its labyrinth of emotions, often has diverse effects on those caught in its web. Everyone's psychology about love differs, and thus, oftentimes, many mistake infatuation for love. The poser is, how then can one distinguish between being in love or being infatuated? For Mrs. Eno Patrick, her experience of being in love is quite revealing.
I've been in love. I felt butterflies in my tummy. Wow! I was just so happy, you know. I felt I was on top of the world. In short, heaven kissed the earth.
If you want to find out that you love this person, when you know that whatever that person does pleases you, you are just happy. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, it pleases you. Whether the person is good, you know, in financial aspects, you know, if it's okay or not, you just like that person. I think it's actually is love.
The major difference between being in love and infatuated with someone is that in the case of the former, you love the person for who he or she is, while the latter is all about lusting after someone. How does it affect one's relationship?
Infatuation, you will see at the beginning, you will think it's love. It looks like love, but it's not love because it cannot endure, it cannot persevere, it cannot stand the test of time. So the true love stands the test of time, while infatuation does not.
What we have is infatuation. You're just being carried of the beauty of a woman or the answer for a man because he has money, a flashy car. You have some stakes with him. Before you know, you begin to become relentless efforts. That means you were just infatuated to that man. There was no love.
Out of the love you have for somebody, a girl or a boy, and the person not cheat on you or do something that you don't like, out of infatuation, you act the way you are not supposed to act. You know, you create a lot of havoc and other calamity.
Respondents argue that love and infatuation are matters of the heart that should be treated with utmost care. They reiterate that knowing the difference between love and infatuation would greatly help people make the right choices in their relationships. In Port Harcourt, Chidiebere Onyea, NTA News.
I think an interesting story there. Perhaps you would want to take a look at what you're doing for those who are single and still searching. Is it love or infatuation? I'm married, so mine has been love. I don't know about you. Now, talking about love here, the next story is about love because they had to go down the aisle. Now, the biblical injunction that man should leave his parents and cleave to his wife played out in Calabar when Reginald Eken Shaw walked down the aisle with his heartthrob, Queeneth Bassi Effium, daughter of former Deputy Director News of the NTA Chief Victor Effium, to consolidate their matrimony. The marriage was consummated at the African Church Archdiocese MacDonald Street here in Calabar. Erika Evi was there for NTA News. Take a look.
A hymn rendered by the choir ushers in the couple. The officiating minister, Venerable Daniel Ekpenyong, in his charge to the couple, calls for transparency among the two as one of the prerequisites to enjoy their marriage.
For your marriage to be a success, both of you submit yourself to each other.
It was time for the declaration of marriage vows, sealed with the exchange of rings.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son,
and of the Son,
and of the Holy Spirit,
and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen.
I present this certificate of marriage to.
The foundation of marriage should be love.
Let there be honesty.
From the church, the newly wedded proceeded to the home of Chief Victor Effium, venue for the traditional marriage ceremony, where Queeneth will be officially handed over to her husband, according to Efik tradition and customs, known as locally as Nta Calabar. Chairman of the occasion, a one-time Minister of Health and one-time Minister of Works in Nigeria, Dr. Emmanuel San, received the dowry and other gift items as required according to the Efik custom.
My daughter is a very good child. I'm sure she will make a very good wife.
Transparent. I wish that he add to the number of the grandchildren I have. I wish them peace.
As they make progress in this journey, they should hold tight to the word of God.
And the marriage, they should be able to communicate with each other. They need to tolerate each other. They need to endure with each other. And they should not allow a third party to intervene in their marriage.
Through their marriage, they should learn to love each other. They should learn to understand each other.
This is a traditional marriage ceremony where the community comes out not only to participate, but to share the love between two families that have come together.
How do you feel today?
I feel very happy and very excited. Today has finally come.
I feel great and honored.
Erika Evie, NTA News.
Happily ever after. And that's saying congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Reginald Shaw. And that's our bit, and that's all we can give to you from our Sunday Tonic this Sunday. Don't forget to join us next Sunday for fresh editions of this special edition that comes once every week. I am Oku Ekpayong, your anchor for now, sitting in for the regular presenter, saying bye for now. And have a wonderful week ahead of you.